I am the recovery Ronin, and I am tired of fear controlling the conversation of healing from addiction and other chronic illnesses. I just saw a video from the actor, Shiloh LaBeouf. Everybody knows what this guy's going through. And he was saying, what I don't need is more treatment. I don't have a problem with alcohol or something else. Maybe I have like a Napoleon complex. I know how to help him because I asked the questions. I did the research. I've done the work, not only on myself as a clinician for over 24,000 hours, working at dozens of facilities, trying every modality. It took me over a decade just to break down how much misunderstanding has infested the recovery community. We weaponize so many things, and it's not malicious. Let me make this clear. I am not here to bring down anybody. I am here to lift up. I am the voice of the unheard. I am the champion of those of us that fight and fail and fight and fail and feel like we get nothing but cliches, ignorance, and we get put down and judged no matter how hard we try. All everybody notices is one mistake or another. We don't even know how to define effort anymore. The only way we define recovery in the modern world is how many meetings you go to, how much step work you've done. Did you have an awakening from this step work? I can tell you why I did it. I wanted a spiritual awakening desperately, but the language didn't connect to me. I did steps because I wanted to fit in with my group, and I wanted my sponsor to think I was cool and smart. That was the internal motivation and the external motivating factors. We have to take the knowledge and transform it into functional wisdom. I am tired of clapping our hands for the 1 to 3% of us that find freedom. Again, I'm not against us. I celebrate all people in addiction, chronic illness, and recovery. I just know we could do more. We have the information, we have the ancient wisdom, we have the neuroscience, we have understanding of how our brain works. I stand on the shoulders of all those before me. I've just created a language that is simple to understand and direct. This idea that what we need to overcome addiction is to sit around and ruminate on our problems over and over, talk about substances, talk about triggers, just repeat cliches and platitudes as if they're placeholders for what we really need to do to evolve our consciousness, to heal our bodies. Why don't we increase neurobiological function, dopamine, serotonin, norepinephrine, and oxytocin, do things that create neuroplasticity, learn to use our focus, train our attention to control our nervous system? We know we can do this. We have Wim Hof. We have the teachings of Dispenza and Huberman and Lipton and Greg Braden and Master Shi Hun Yi and the motivational stuff. And all I see is a society of people who can't handle the most basic emotional stresses. I'm talking an average doctor, lawyer, teacher, therapist, politician can't handle traffic on the way home without getting too upset. They can't handle a line at the grocery store. I see it all the time. I love it every time I'm at the grocery store, especially at the dollar store, and there's a bunch of people online, right? And there's one register open, and they're all looking at each other. Oh, can you believe this? What, you mean the employee's making $12 an hour isn't good enough for you? Like they have some kind of choice, like they don't want more support, like they're not trying to do the best they can. Oh, what, you have to stand online for a minute or two? Are you gonna be okay? The colleagues I work with in most of the facilities I've been, we need constant validation to know we're doing a good job. The work is the reward. How have we forgotten what it means to be a human being? We are not built for comfort. I love the quote from Gary Brecka. The aggressive seeking of comfort is the cause of all early morbidity. What does that mean? That we're trying to sit in the same thoughts, the same feelings, the same impulses, that we'd rather be right than transform ourselves and evolve. We have to challenge the narratives and the beliefs that run our behaviors. We all think it's a willpower issue. We say it all the time in recovery, right? Once you get clean, you have a choice to use. Do you? Do you really? There's only one situation I know where people overcome the amygdala, hijack the default network of the human brain, and that is the Navy SEALs and the Buds test. Even the toughest, most well-trained, most disciplined guys on earth, understanding what the test is, still fail that test. That's the hard, they all say it, that's the hardest part of Navy SEAL training. They drown them in their scuba gear over and over, and they can't fight back until they drown. They have to put everything back together. They have to learn to stay calm in the amygdala hijack. And we expect addicts, we don't train ourselves to regulate our emotions, to sit in discomfort, to train our attention. None of us can even sit still for a few minutes. Can't. How many people I see in recovery that live legitimately healthy, consistent lifestyles? Holy shit, are you kidding me? I was so sick. I'm an IV hardcore heroin, fentanyl, Xanax, Oxycontin addict. Relapsed over 200 times, was homeless over 10 years. Take a wild guess what everybody told me the reason I relapsed was. Because I didn't suffer enough. Let me make something real clear. If anybody ever tells you that you relapsed because you didn't suffer enough, please tell them I said to go fuck themselves and send them this video or have them read my book. We all know it. We've been on the way to use many times trying to talk ourselves out of it. We've all tried to play the tape through hundreds and hundreds of times for most addicts, especially after a little time clean and sober. Few days, few weeks, we fight our asses off to try to put ourselves and our lives back together. And then we have that day, right? We feel it build in our mind and we're on the way to the dope man or the liquor store and we can hear it in the back of our head. Please don't do this. There's going to be a serious direct consequence. It's going to cost you and you're going to hate every part of it. Please turn around. You knew you were going to hate it and you knew the consequences. The insanity isn't thinking there's going to be a different outcome. We know exactly what the outcome is going to be. The insanity is that we do it anyways, because that's the human brain and nervous system. Our behaviors don't exist in some free vacuum where our thoughts and impulses are untouched by experience and pain and trauma. We are creatures of habit. Try doing one non-habitual thing a day and watch what happens. And so why are we not treating recovery like training? We have the spiritual principles of the 12-step program, but it is amazing how hard it was for me to navigate it, because when I asked about them, nobody could really explain it to me. I asked people with long-term recovery all the time. Just recently, a few this week. How do you lie to yourself? Honesty is the principle behind the first step. They only can tell me about their addiction. I had to get honest that I had a problem with crack. I had to get honest that alcohol was killing me. Yeah, that gets you into the program. So what did you learn about the step work, about how you lie to yourself, especially those that have been doing it for decades, been doing this step work? You can't tell me how you lie to yourself. That's the first spiritual principle. This is what I mean. We've lost the language because we don't know how to internalize things anymore. It's all projection. It's all performance. It's all the objective world. It's all validation and sympathy. I am here to change that. I know there's people like Shiloh out there. 1 hour, you give me 1 hour talking to him, I could radically change his life because I understand addiction in the brain, in the body, in the spirit, not as some mystical concept that we keep as defense mechanism so we don't have to really transform. So we could just say, as long as you don't pick up, you're a success. You want to hear something really crazy, and this is going to piss a lot of fucking people off. But I don't care because it's the truth. I have explored this with hundreds and hundreds of groups, and everybody knew exactly what the end was. Just did it yesterday, and they even did the clapping thing at the end. I can't speak for every area around the world for the 12-step community, but I could go to any medallion night here in South Florida. Anyone. Say I'm getting my 10-year medallion. I can get up there and go, you know, this has been the toughest year of my recovery. I started hitting my wife, went to jail for it. She don't talk to me anymore. Started abusing my kids. They're done with me. I gamble constantly. I pick up street walking sex workers, which are drug addicts at the lowest points of their lives, and I take advantage of that. I can go on and on about how rough this year has been and then hold my medallion up and go, but I haven't found a reason to pick up a drink. Yeah, everybody that knows listening to this right now just started doing this. The fuck are we doing, man? This is what recovery has become. We've set the bar in hell. It's not about the substance, man. It's about transformation, awakening, spiritual alignment. We have the messages from Bill W., Dr. Bob, Wally P., Buddha, Jesus, Yoganandra, Maharashi. We have the teachings. But rather than asking questions and having these deep philosophical, spiritual conversations, we just perform it like some virtue signaling capital down here. We could do more, man. And the reason why I'm so loud and I'm doing this, again, for the small percentage of people that have found recovery, I might be able to help you with my book and my message with Fourth Wall Awakening on how to take the next level. But more than that, this message is for those like me, those that feel unheard, those that have fallen through the cracks, those that get judged no matter how hard they fight for their recovery, for how long, when their amygdala takes over and they use, and everybody tells them, well, I guess you didn't really want it. I guess you love to drink more than your kids. And they feel abandoned immediately from something they would never choose to do. Every addict hates this shit. To tell me addicts want to relapse? Sure. Yeah, it was so much fun waking up dope sick homeless in South Florida every day, getting my body moving. The only thing I had to put in me was what was left over from the night before because I could never make anything last. So every day, for decades, I had to go work dope sick. And I come in and the message is I didn't want it enough. Maybe you didn't understand what I needed. I didn't understand what I needed. I needed healing. I needed to learn how to move away from my past, to stop identifying myself with guilt, shame, grief, and regret. I need to understand what it means to be a human being. Grind. Every part of human physiology is built for hard work. Our anterior mid-cingulate cortex, our dorsolateral, our limbic system, our hippocampus, our epigenetic function, our cell structure, the way we age, everything, even our internalized emotions, every good, positive, internalized feeling a human being gets is from one thing: effort towards meaningful goals. But instead, I'm focusing on what we can control: effort, perceptions, attitudes, energy, concentration, focus. We choose to focus on behaviors. And because we can't control our behaviors and we don't have the mechanisms of change and evolution, we just excuse everything and judge it by one absence of one behavior. And we wonder why it's not working for most of us. It is time to update the language. America needs to change how we think about addiction and recovery. It's all backwards. I'm not saying the 12-step program is backwards. I am saying we lost what they were saying. It's been buried and watered down beneath cliches, platitudes, and bumper stickers. Defense mechanisms of, oh, I just keep it simple one day at a time is not the same thing as explaining how you're healing your mind, your body, and your spirit. It's not the external world, it's intrinsic. And I will repeat these things over and over, and I can approach it from every angle. I've been obsessed with this for decades. It is time to stop holding ourselves down out of cultural fear. Time to elevate, bring it up. We can do better. We can be the best versions of ourselves. Another thing we accept in the entire recovery community that drives me crazy: my own worst enemy, right? Nothing I could do there. Does that make sense to you? That we all have to literally be our own worst enemies. We have to treat the people that love us the worst. How about I become my greatest asset, the one who works most for my values, my goals, the people I love, the desire in my heart to make a difference in this community? I will not stop. I will scream as loud as I have to. There's too many families destroyed because of a basic misunderstanding out of cultural fear. We know too much. We have neuroscience, behavioral, cognitive teachings. We know what healing is. We have to learn to control what we can control. The Serenity Prayer.